Holy shit, folks. Another episode of Karen's Kids Podcast, episode number 26. What up? We got our guest today again, Adam.
Adam, welcome back.
Welcome back, buddy.
Back and better than
our
ever,
Our favorite
folks.
guest. Hey,
our favorite, yeah.
First off, our only guest.
Yeah,
I don't know.
still.
We interviewed,
still.
I guess Mauricio was our first guest.
Yep.
Okay, our second guest, but our best video. So, you know, that goes to show
Cheers
how
to
popular
that.
it is.
Cheers,
Cheers.
to that, buddy, for sure. Hell yeah.
All right. You know what? All right. Did you guys know?
I did.
This is the first thing I want to talk about.
All right.
Do you know that the men's, so the World Cup's going on right now, right? The men play tomorrow, so today's Friday.
The men?
The men's World Cup soccer team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
They play tomorrow morning.
Oh, wait, okay. The
So
American
they made it out of the
men's
group
team.
stages, right?
Okay.
Did you guys know it comes with, they made some money on that. It's like they're already awarded $13 million.
Each player?
No, the team.
Okay.
That gets divided, I think, between 20 or maybe 24 players that are on the roster.
Not bad. How many games have they played?
What, for the World Cup?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Two
been
games?
3 so far.
3? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they made it out of the group stages. They're about to play the 4th game.
Yeah, because there's four teams per group.
Right.
So they had to play each one of the teams.
Okay.
And then
get out.
after the 3 to get out. Yeah. Whoever has the most points accumulated, then they get out.
My point of bringing that up, do you know they have to split that with the women's World Cup team?
Oh.
Never knew this.
Yes.
So they're always complaining about not ever getting shit, but yet they get a piece of the pie.
So they just signed a agreement, a fair something agreement. I gotta.
Oh, so this is new.
This is a newer thing they just
Okay,
signed.
Okay, then I retract my statement.
So I don't know what it's. Oh yeah, no, it's the equal pay agreement. So, anyways, they get half of that money, which is more money that the women made for the 2 years. Did they? I don't know if it was when they won the World Cup. Did the women? They won the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Twice. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're making more off split the men's half money
Than they did by winning.
than they did both the times winning.
Isn't that a mind fuck?
That's kind of crazy.
It is bullshit.
So how do you feel about that?
You know,
Okay, what's your first thought? They have to split the money.
I say let's split it because isn't the females, aren't they the better players?
Yes.
They have been the better team.
Okay, they have been, but see, so here's the
Historically.
thing. Now, with the men's team, what you have is super athletes. The biggest, the toughest, the strongest, the fastest, right?
Mm-hmm.
The most athletic of all humans that live in America, right? Or are American, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And then
across the country.
the female counterpart, sad part to say is, again, going back to we're not the same. They're the slower.
But based on the sex, though, I mean, it is the best of the best in what you're saying, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's the best of the best of all females, the best of the best of the men. But I mean, yes, technically, the men would be the more superior, I guess.
So, I mean, it's the reason why the WNBA doesn't make much money.
Yeah.
Like, if you had the choice of watching the absolute super kings of the fucking sport, why would you watch the lesser? It's not. Is it compared to college? Because college is pretty big. It would be like high school.
It's probably even less than that.
It's probably
that's what I was going to
graders.
say. That's why the women's their sports don't make any money because they don't have a view. They don't have fans.
But why would you watch them?
See, but I need to interject right now. If you went out for when the female the U.S. female team played, everywhere that I went, it was fucking packed.
Okay.
It was crowded as hell. There was a huge fan base. Every man was out cheering on USA.
You said you went to the game, right?
Well, not an actual game. I'm sorry. I went out to watch the game. Like I went to a bar.
Okay.
And the bars were fucking packed, slammed. They brought the fan base out there. That's why I think that.
Yeah, but viewing it at a bar and paying money and going to the stadium are two different things.
Very true. Very. They
don't make money because they're not
You're
filling.
telling me
They're not filling up stadiums.
They weren't filled when they were at the.
They might even
Cup.
have to give away tickets to make it look filled.
I don't know. I want to get some facts on this. I wish we had someone to
where's
do some
But
pulling up right
he
now.
couldn't come. He was.
Yeah,
he has to work.
This would
through
be
the
something to
holidays.
write down for a future topic because I would love to know that. Actually, I really would.
No, it's just facts. It's like it's
I
if
don't know.
they had the same, they would have the same kind of like. If they had the same kind of numbers, the same money, they would have the same leverage to bargain like how much they get paid. It's like if they don't have any attention, they have nothing to stand on. That's why they can't Who's sponsoring them? It's like,
so if you were to,
But isn't that how this agreement got signed though? Because
this is why they did it,
Didn't
right?
they pull
Hold on.
some facts,
And
some statistics?
and this is my guess why the men signed it. Because first off, all the men on the U.S. team probably don't need the money. As far as like they play for clubs that pay them probably pretty decent.
But that's why.
So they're like,
Yeah.
we'll let the women be happy. Yes, you guys can have half our shit too. And it's like, because they don't rely on that money, but it probably makes a big difference for the women getting that chunk, you know?
Well, like last time when we spoke, we said that women don't have the type of friendships that men have. Because lots of times men want to be like that sports guy. They want to be like that rapper. They want, you know what I'm saying? And then women kind of have that, but they don't.
Can be those things though.
They can, but a lot of times they're competing against each other and they're like, fuck that bitch.
No, I just think they have, you know, I think good talent is undeniable. If you're undeniable,
Yeah, you got to be undeniable.
If you're undeniable, then no one's gonna talk shit. Like even if you're a female comedian, you know, I bet you it is kind of traditionally harder if you're a female comedian. But if you're funny, and you make it through.
That's yeah, you do, but you're still I think in every single like genre that you could sports, comedy, whatever. Why is it though that females are still not even close to being paid as much as the men? We're kind of
how many females watch sports, and why don't they follow their own?
And I don't know. It's a tough.
Men watch sports. Men watch
yes,
sports, and men don't want to watch women play sports. Why would you want to watch a worse version?
But to your point, though,
although the women's soccer for a long time was much better to watch than
exactly
that, I'll give credit for.
So then you're almost. I'm not necessarily contradicting yourself, but that was the better caliber of play to the sport, but they were not getting recognized appropriately. That's the fact.
But that's just women's soccer in general.
Like, if I was going to advertise, would I advertise with the women because more eyes are watching, or just because they're better?
Yeah, the advertisers go where the attention
pushes everything. Right?
If there's there's not enough attention at these fucking things. Believe me.
When the U.S. female team won, they were in every fucking commercial. Rapini was in.
That was a night. Yes,
I mean, I even know fucking names of that, and I would have never even known if it wasn't for that shit.
100%. They caught wind. They went viral, kind of thing. Yes. For sure, but you know, I don't know.
I mean, I couldn't even really tell you. To be honest, right now, I couldn't even really tell you that many names on the fucking the men's team right now, other than Pulisic.
Yeah,
and then Pulisic. Sorry,
Pulisic. Yeah, he's actually really good.
Yeah, he is.
Listen, to be fair,
but he's the face of our team.
To be fair, I play soccer and I do not know any names.
I rest my case.
I don't. But to be fair, you know how much sports I've watched in the last 3-4 years?
None, really.
Dude, I can count the hours. And that's like little.
Yeah.
I'm talking Super Bowls. I watched 15 minutes of it. Bears game, I haven't watched them in 2 years.
Wow.
But what's funny is that I still know their MO. And I'll watch a couple. I'll go on Instagram and I'll watch a couple highlights. And yeah, they lose it in the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter. It's like they've been doing that for years. And I fucking knew it that I should have bet. There was I think the over-under on Bears wins over the season was 6 at the time.
I was going to bet it too, man.
It was 6 at the time. And I was like, oh, I'm taking the fucking under.
For sure. I should have. I was going to put the house on it. Legit.
Dude, I was like, that's one of the most safest bets you could do is take it the under in the Bears because they will let you down.
Know. But then
they caught fire for a couple weeks. Yeah. Justin Fields, this, that, and I don't even know shit. Listen, I know all the good things about the Bears, and I don't watch it.
Yeah,
that's how much I don't need to watch it to know.
You don't, right? Because Justin Fields is the truth. It's really summed up really easily. He's the truth. He has no supporting cast.
But he got injured, right, for running too much.
So last week he got his shoulder got dislocated, not his throwing shoulder.
And I bet you analysts are like, he's probably gonna get hurt if he keeps running like this.
I said to bench him for the rest of the season, but everyone else is saying he needs his reps. Fuck them.
I mean, you do need to. Nah, I believe in fucking. You can't hold back, man. You gotta train. You gotta prove it. You gotta show it and do it.
He already has. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone in this fucking city that watches football believes in Justin Fields. Everyone does now. It's not even a question. Before, in the beginning of the season, 100% it was. As of right now, I would be surprised if anyone were to doubt that he is the one for us. Everyone believes in him now.
Okay.
So why
why don't we fucking just put all the money on a great offensive line?
So it's not that easy though, man.
It's not?
No.
I believe it is.
There's not.
I bet you
not.
if the owners really want to dig deep.
This is ridiculous right now.
Are you going to tell me that they're the McAllisters
You
or
wanna
whatever,
pick
right?
the-
Who owns the Bears? The
McCaskies.
McCaskies, there you
Yeah.
go. You going to tell me they're not worth billions?
Of course they are.
Okay, they can invest another $50 million to buy like 2 or
That's
3
why
more
they don't, though, bro. Because we have one of the best fan bases in all of sports.
And we have-
not even just football.
and we have nothing to show for it.
Exactly, because we don't have to. Because they know that we have such a loyal fan base.
That's not a reason.
I'm not saying it's okay. It's just what it is. It is what it is. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
I understand
That's
the
the fucking
business.
finally,
I understand.
yeah.
Listen, I understand the business, but at some point, it's like they're probably worth a couple billion. Once you have a B in front of your fucking dude, it's like
You literally have someone wiping your ass for you.
oh my god, you can't.
You don't even need toilet paper. Someone
you
does
can't
it for
even
you.
fathom like the amount of shit that you can do. It's
Yeah.
like your money will never disappear.
Yeah, the club
So
is
invest.
growing.
So why wouldn't you like the Bears 85? Although we did make that stretch with Rex Grossman, in the early 2000s, we went to I don't know, like
we went to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Against the Colts, yeah.
Thank you. I wasn't sure because my memory's I'm fucking
Yeah,
high.
yeah,
My
yeah.
memory's a little shady.
All good.
Yeah. Do you think that they maybe they know something and they keep them like limited in a way because they tug on people's hearts and they're like, well, we can't get them to win too much.
I just think that I don't know, man.
They want to spend as little. I bet you. My guess.
Yeah,
they
that's
want to
exactly
spend as
right.
little. It's business.
yeah.
So we can get anybody in there, but it's like just spend a
If
little
every
bit
game
more
is
money
sold
for
out,
like.
why change it?
I would imagine I have this theory that if you made it to the NFL, you're at a certain level athlete, right? You made it to the NFL. If all the quarterbacks had the same exact amount of time, let's say it's 2 seconds, 3 seconds, full seconds to throw the ball, I believe most of them, they'll all be pretty like the same. So I think the difference between a lot of these games is like how long did that quarterback get to throw the ball? If you ever watch Tom Brady, motherfucker gets like 4 seconds to throw a ball.
Yeah.
So it's like his O-line's great. So it's like
Yeah.
I think that's the X factor is the O-line.
The O-line is the most important fucking.
That's what I'm
aspect
trying to
of
say. So
football, for
we need
sure,
to
100%.
invest in that
Yes.
because it's like
But you can't if you have the best. Like for example, we have like the as of right now, we're gonna have the second pick in the first round. If your lottery pick comes up and you're gonna pick like the best lineman, like defensive lineman, over some shit fucking offensive lineman that's really not even supposed to be that good. Because to be honest with you,
you don't waste
the
a
class.
pick. I don't think on them.
That's what I'm saying. The
No,
class,
you don't waste your first
That's my
pick.
point.
Yeah, yeah.
The class of the offensive line is not that good this year, so they're not going to just say, "Oh, the best offensive lineman would be
Nah,
like a
but
grade B," as opposed to a defensive lineman that's the A plus. You're going to go with the fucking A plus because it's the fucking A plus.
Or you just go after an established A plus and you pay out the contract and you just bite it. You just eat the money. If you're trying to win a championship, I guess that's what it is.
Just real
You'd
quick
have
before
to-
we get too far off topic,
we don't even have to talk about. I don't know how this got turned into a Bears
just
podcast.
one more thing and I'm done. But the ownership, as far as owners, how they handle their teams, I really truly believe is either they handle it as a legit business, like
for
we're kind
sure.
of saying, like the McCaskies,
100%.
or they kind of handle it like a fan. So they want to win, so they're going to do whatever it actually really fucking takes to win, rather than when you run like a business, you're just going to fucking kind of skate by and just do the minimum, rather than make fucking moves. Let's do the damn thing and let's fucking win. There's a difference for sure.
Wouldn't you think that they would, if you spent the money and you got everyone super excited, you would just make your money back like in that season of just hype of like, oh, the Bears are really good and it's like they can, I don't know. But you're right, because Chicago has such a great fan base. It's
Exactly.
like they can make their money, but like make it real exciting like the Patriots do.
They
It's
don't
like
have to.
imagine if we had the Bears were like the Patriots and we're just a known great team.
I know.
It's like
it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now, how much would that change the city, though, too?
Oh my god!
Right?
Because every time the Chicago Bears get brought up, we still talk about the '85 Bears. It's all we ever fucking talk about. 'Cause that's all we have.
That's all we have.
It's
as far as football
crazy.
goes. Yeah. Yeah. So Dino knows the whole Super Bowl shuffle rap.
Psych. That's funny.
No way.
Yeah. So, well, you were gonna say something about evolution.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I have a lot of things written down on my phone. I want to talk about Shark Tank at some point. Dude, Shark Tank got me to tear the fuck up today.
You're
Oh,
obsessed.
damn. American Idol.
You're
I
obsessed
fucking
with it.
love Shark Tank.
You've been obsessed with it forever.
It speaks to me. It's first off, we're gonna talk about Shark Tank for a little bit,
All right, let's do this.
dude.
So, right, there's a lot of people that don't watch it. Like, I don't watch it, but I know it's like you present a
Okay, if you
idea.
if you don't watch Shark Tank, the whole premise is you got 5 sharks. It's usually comprised of like Mark Cuban, Lori, I don't know her last name, Kevin O'Leary. It'll be fuck. What's the other two?
So these guys are the investors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, they have the money, so they're the money.
So a
Exactly.
person with the business goes to them and they pitch.
An idea.
They pitch their product to them,
Okay.
and they'll usually say, "I want whatever," and then they'll tell you what they want, whatever the amount of percentage they're willing to give up for X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
And there's always a back and forth, and they ask a bunch of questions like, "How are your sales?" Whatever. Anyways, it's such a brilliant show because, first off, you're getting these millionaires and billionaires. There's only 2 billionaires, Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary, that are sharks. They don't have to go looking for the ideas. Ideas come to them all day. They got the money.
Yeah.
So it's like ideas just constantly coming into them. So it's brilliant for them. That's why they do it. Mm-hmm. Then it's a great trade-off for the entrepreneur who's pitching their idea, because then if you get a shark on your team, first off, you're getting an established business person.
Right.
And there's usually an expert in whatever you were.
They come with a team.
They come with a team and they boost your sales. So you get a shark effect, you get immediately. So it's a win-win for both. So it's probably, in my opinion, one of the most genuine shows, because it's not scripted other than their pitch. Their pitch is scripted, but like how it's technically, I guess, a reality TV show.
Yeah.
But it's just like the most real thing you're going to watch that's on a network. But, it was pretty crazy. They're in different story. I love seeing people win. Like anytime I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, good for you, dude. Like this person like worked hard for the last 5 years, living out their mom's garage or whatever, and they get the deal. And it's like, I love seeing those fucking wins, And I tear up, dude. I swear to God, it's funny because my girlfriend the other day, she's like, "You don't tear up." I'm like, I tear up at shit. I'm not like an emotionalist person.
I'm a man.
I just don't tear up on these romance fucking. Yeah. I tear up when I see like people winning and like a success, or like then they'll go down like, "Oh, this was my father's idea." And he'd be smiling down, and they tell the whole story, and you fucking get sucked in. You know what I'm saying? It's so great.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Some drama.
But today, I swear to God, I teared up maybe the hardest. And it's seriously so.
Like,
Teared up or
snot
cried?
bubble?
There's a difference between tearing up and crying.
Exactly.
Let's be honest right now.
And then I
cried.
teared. No,
You cried.
I teared up. It wasn't crying because I was upset. So I
No, you just
teared
got
up.
emotional.
It was like just emotional.
Yeah, so you cried.
So yeah, for sure. So in both eyes, I'm like, oh shit! Like I had to really wipe the shit.
Yeah.
So what happened was this guy invented, it was his dad's idea to. It was like it's an accessory for a shaving cream. So it was a top to it. Most of the times you take shaving cream, you spray it in your hand.
Yeah.
The people who put it on, and he was explaining that. The bristle, the people who take the brush, like the old school fucking. What that does is it exfoliates your skin, wakes up your hair, and it sticks it out.
Exactly.
So he's saying, most people take the glob and they put it on their face and it smears it all over and whatever. And first off, he started talking about the waste. First off, you're wasting everything that's in your hand.
Right.
And then that it doesn't activate and exfoliate and all that shit. Then he was saying how he tested his father was a person who shaved daily. So
clean shaven, obviously.
He's a clean shave all the time.
Okay.
And then he explained about the shaving cream and all that.
Yeah.
So this guy invented, I think it was him and his brother invented a piece that goes over all shaving cream. All aerosol cans are pretty universal in size.
Yes.
So he invented this little spout and then had his bristle on it. So you spray into it and it goes. The foam will go through the bristles, and you can do it all in one motion. And you only put a little bit, and he explained how it saves on product, whatever. So he explained how his dad got cancer, and while he was on cancer, he didn't tell anyone. He made all these. He took out of clay. You know how you can make moldings out of clay.
Yep.
So the little piece had to be like made. So his dad, through chemotherapy, not telling anyone, made over 3,000 units. So when he ended up dying, and there was a note he left with it, and it was like basically like, take your shot. I forgot what the words were, but it was like, go for it, take the shot. And it was like. He fucking got my ass, dude. It was so hard. I was like, God damn. And he got a deal.
Nice.
So it was nice. But
what do you get the deal with?
He got the deal with Lori, but she ended up buying out the company. So she's like, I'll give you $1 million. And then she's like, I'll give you a 3% royalty on net sales or whatever. And then he, for $300K, or no, yeah, for $1 million for that. And then he ended up settling for 300,000, I think, for like 9%. Oh, and Mark Cuban's such a G for this. So Mark Cuban, he's like, I'll do. He was trying to work. So Lori first wanted like 13% or something. I forgot what it was. But
just give me,
yeah. So, but Mark Cuban's like, I'll do for 10%, basically to undercut Lori, because he kind of recognized she's being greedy, and then she's like, I'll do it for 9%. So he like dropped it like almost in half just for, and it was like a really nice, because, and then they joked, and she's like, you did that on purpose, and Mark's like, basically, yeah, I did.
See, not to ruin the moment right now, but that's where I was going to actually disagree with you on the win-win aspect of that show, because these motherfuckers are obviously trying to have the greater end of the stick when they get the idea that they want.
Sure.
They end up they're gonna want the obviously more profitable aspect of it. So they'll try to fuck you over in that aspect.
No.
So it's not always a win-win.
I believe it is, because even let's say you were going in there. I want to give 15% of my company. I want 100,000 for 15% of my company, and the shark's like, no, I'll give you 100%. I'll give you 100,000 for 30%, basically dropping my value of my company in half, and they're getting twice the amount of value for the same money.
Yeah.
Most people still take that deal. Because they're going to give me maybe 5,000 times more revenue that I would have never got otherwise.
Yeah, the exposure is insurmountable.
So that double, the extra 15% that I gave them
that's a good
is still a great investment, because they gave me 10,000 back.
But you know what I'm trying to
some things really blow up like they were like, oh, I used to only do 200,000 K in revenue. Now I did 3.6 million. I mean, that's fucking.
Yeah,
it's 800 percent.
I mean, it's a win no matter what, because it's more money than you would be getting by yourself no matter what. Yeah, so
that's what I say. And plus, they always have the infrastructure and shit. They got the like.
But if you got someone that's not really business savvy, they'll fucking eat your ass alive in a sense. Like if you don't, because I bet you they agree to some deals that aren't necessarily the best for them. I mean. I don't know. It's like
sometimes there's sharky deals where it's like, real blatant.
Yeah,
where it's
the shark is getting it. Like they're getting way more of.
And they talk shit to each other. To be like, oh, how could you do that? You're a bloodhound, so you're looking for blood.
That's my point.
They go in on each other, but I will say this: they're in the 14th season. They're all very rich at this point. Like so now,
the sharks are obviously rich.
That's what I'm saying. So all the sharks are very, very rich. Now they have an image to uphold. They're not gonna fuck on all the episodes that they show. They're not gonna make them look like assholes. Like they really took that much advantage of the person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And does Mark Cuban care about $250,000?
No,
he doesn't give a fuck about that money. No. So it's like when he does those deals, he's a businessman. He doesn't want to lose that money,
right? Of course,
so he knows he's gonna make money, but he doesn't have to be a real fucking shark on that. He's not fucking Wolf on Wall Street. Yeah. Fucking greed is good. Like he doesn't have to be that anymore. He's billion. He's got an image now, and he might even run for office one day. I heard smart people talking about that.
Yeah, that's been the thing for a while now,
dude. That's a brilliant fucking show because it keeps them in line. They're being watched by a community.
Yeah. But it gives them all the ideas. Yeah. How many more businesses have they acquired in the last 14 years?
Yeah, just the up there in portfolio. It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
All of them have at minimum doubled their wealth since the airing of the show.
I don't know. You think so? Doubled? Yeah. They already made a majority. They already have Their wealth already came.
Yeah,
though.
but
I
all
think
their-
this is not double.
Yeah,
dude.
but all their money just
Mark Cuban
keeps
did not double his fucking money from the show. I disagree with this.
Dude,
Sorry.
but their money grows exponentially. Like, it's like,
I think-
it's 1 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. It's like, that's how their money grows.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
just like, it's just small addings.
Yeah,
it's like
compounds.
big number starts
Yeah.
compounding
Yes.
stupid
Yes,
big.
yes,
you know what I'm
yes.
saying? It's like,
Yeah.
especially with these businesses. Yeah, like,
I mean, your 14 seasons, you're right. I mean, this has got to be, it's got to
Oh,
amount to
dude.
something pretty
Hell yeah.
vast.
And,
pretty
what's so
vast.
brilliant about the show is they make it seem like it's every week. They don't get Mark Cuban's time like that. He knocks that out in a weekend. They'll knock out probably 3 seasons.
I bet.
In fucking 3 days of shooting. It's 10 hours each day.
Shit.
If you notice, sometimes they'll have guest people. And I think they strategically air episodes because the way they want the product to come out. They think about that. They don't just air everything. It's strategically because that company that looks good. So when you Google it, everything's super ready.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, watching that show is inspiring you to buy that thing, to look up that thing.
So they're on
By
season
time-
14, but they're filming season 30.
They could be on 18. They could be on 17 for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the
That's
company,
why they're where they are.
and the company, and maybe the company needs 8 months of, let me get my hands dirty in this motherfucker. I gotta do my thing.
Yeah.
And I can't air. They don't air it. First off, they don't like record it and then air it 2 weeks later. That doesn't make sense. That first off, I'm sure production takes it as long as
yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
But then they gotta make sure that product is ready. They're not gonna ever air something.
Right, that's right.
They're not going to air something that's not ready for an immediate Google. It's almost like QVC. If you're watching Shark Tank,
That's what you're watching.
it's QVC. They're
watching the future
They're
QVC.
selling all those products.
Yeah, right,
Wow.
right.
So
You called me a geezer, bro.
It's the more-
you'll see certain people there, and they're all wearing the same clothes. It's like, oh yeah, they just did 10 hours of shooting, and that could be used for like 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Damn.
So,
So, a little side note, actually.
but I love Shark Tank.
There's a dude who was at my company that's a freight boss. Like this, I met him actually one of the trips that I went on for my companies. His name's Matt Walsh. He fucking is one of the biggest dudes. at my
Matt
company.
Walsh.
This guy's dude. His company's called Trophy Smack.
Do you know who Matt Walsh is?
I don't know if it's the same guy we're talking about.
I
here.
know it's not.
No, there's no way. But he was on fucking Shark Tank and he got a deal. I don't know who he got the deal with.
Oh,
It's I don't know. It's called Trophy Smack. I'm telling you. Hey, Matt Walsh, if you ever see this,
Trophy
and you got
Smack?
people going and buying your shit, hook me up, bro.
Trophy Spack.
Trophy Smack. So what he does is they from, and I don't know if I'm fucking this up. I didn't really do much time investing by figuring out what the company's all about. But from what I gathered is that they provide like all the. Come on, man. Learn the world, bro. I'm messing with you. But they provide fantasy football is fantasy sports in general is like a multi-million-dollar industry, if not billion. I don't even know at this point.
Oh, for sure.
They provide like all the trophies and all this shit that goes towards that. I don't. Again, it's this. I'm just scratching the surface of what they do. But whatever it was, they got a fucking deal on Shark Tank. So congratulations to them.
Like
for that.
he pitched it as like it was a fantasy trophy. Like this
Like
is what people use it for.
They handle it. So if you because you know how geeky and crazy fantasy sports can get. They provide all the trophies, all the I don't know, anything that needs to go along. I mean, whatever that needs to go along with fantasy sports, they provide it for anybody.
Like some type consumer. Of template of certifications or
anything. Yeah, I'm sure there's so much. Everything under the sun that you can think of, they provided for any
cool.
any
Templates
consumer.
and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what Shark invested?
I have no idea, but I YouTubed it and I was watching
Mark
the episode.
Cuban, he's a sports guy.
Hell no.
No?
I don't think it was Cuban. I don't
Cuban.
think
So
it was.
what I've learned from watching all the seasons is you can tell which of the sharks, what's in their wheelhouse. So like, Mark Cuban's very tech.
They have like a.
He's very tech. He's
already got a sports team, so he's already cut that.
But he does do like other things, but it's very tech related because he's very he's got his team. He could turn any tech company into a winner because if he sees the value, he can turn it in. But he does other like shit too. It's not always just tech, but I forgot what I was going with that, to be honest.
He basically has a fingerprint. Like there's a path that he follows for investing.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
All right.
We'll go on to the next one.
But hey, since you're a fan, seriously watch that shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to be on that show. I don't know what it's gonna be for, but I made it like a bucket list thing. That's like, dude, I want to. This is a real thing. I've written this down. You ever write down goals? Have you ever written down goals in your life?
I have before, but I mean, I don't do it avidly. No.
Have you ever written down goals?
Always.
I started to more so now in my life.
I think there's a little something to that because I think it's kind of something magical about taking something that's in your mind, and then you've written it, so now it's become a little bit more reality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of interesting, anyways. But
you hold yourself to it. It becomes more personal when you do shit like that.
yeah, but I made it a goal. I was like, dude, I really want to bring a product to market. I don't care if it's like I buy 1,000 trinkets from Alibaba and I sell it on Amazon. Like I want to bring something to product that you could buy on Amazon. And that's a bucket list thing, and I want to try it. If it's an invention, then I want to get to Shark Tank.
Cool.
Do it.
All right. Any ideas?
I do.
Yeah, don't say them though.
No. Don't say them.
No, I got tons of. Listen,
You
I already
always do this.
I already explained the first one, and this will be a true insider cut if you've listened to this episode before. But I got an idea for a baby helmet for airplanes.
Really?
Have I told you this?
Nah.
All right. So for the people who don't know what I'm talking about, we've all been on planes where babies are fucking nuisance.
So it mutes them on the plane. It mutes them on the plane.
All right. I've been on too many flights where this baby's screaming. And it's not just like a little bit. It's like for tens of minutes at a time where it's like fuck, it's a torture. This easily could be a fucking a terrorism torture fucking tactic easily. And I'm thinking like, why is there's one baby that's subjecting hundreds of people to a fucking cringing, I think by evolutionary, it's supposed to be cringing. When a baby's crying, it's supposed to alert the grown-up human.
Exactly, it's an alarm.
And so that's why we're all fucking stupid drawn to it. But it's your fucking baby, and I do not want to hear it. So I'm like, this little fucking baby's got us all by the balls. It's like he's owning this fucking. I can't do anything about it. So I thought, okay, my mind immediately goes to like, how can I solve this problem? Think motorcycle helmet for a baby. It's like you can even put a visor. You can even put a visor. The 2.0 version could have a visor with an LED screen to keep them stimulated.
Okay.
It's kind of, listen, it's not 100. It's not closed, so they're breathing. It's like a helmet, like how a motorcycle person would breathe, and it's well padded. But the thing is, when he starts fucking screaming, no, it's muffled. Like maybe you can hear it, but it's super muffled. It's not even barbaric, I don't think.
I'm not saying that, but a baby ain't gonna want a fucking helmet on.
Yeah, but it can't fucking. But it have the visor to see mom. But when it starts going nutty, you drop the visor down. You could put speakers in it for fucking lullabies. Like I said, the 2.0 version has a LED screen on the fucking thing.
Homie, what about noise cancellating headphones?
No. The baby's.
That's why you have them.
No, goofy. Oh, for us to have them?
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean?
Listen, if a baby's on a flight, I shouldn't have to bring another thing. That mother should be liable for their baby.
Good luck with that one, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Good luck.
And I think as a parent, if you're bringing your baby on a plane, and you especially like a real infant, it's like the air pressure. It fucks me up. I almost want to yell. You know what I'm saying? But so a baby, I understand why it's crying, the pressure and all that shit. But it's like I shouldn't have to deal with that for 3 hours. You should come prepared because you know your baby's potentially gonna have that. Or the airline. Listen, I could do a deal with the airlines where they just admit it. Like, hey, you got a baby under 2. We suggest this helmet. It's for the passengers. The whole plane shouldn't bow down to this fucking baby.
I agree.
Mother should do everything in its will. Do you ever imagine just kind of?
I think there should be a ban on traveling with kids or babies.
No. I have an idea for.
He has an alternative.
I have an alternative. I have an answer to this.
I've heard this before.
Enlighten me, please.
So you can go on baby-approved flights They're cheaper flights.
Okay, now you're onto something.
So
I can get down with
all
that.
the mothers
I can get down
can
with
bring
that.
their babies on the same flight, and if you, the college student, you
Agreed.
you know what you're getting into.
Yes.
There should be baby-free flights, and then it should be
And
cheap
you pay
flights.
a little bit more for a baby-free flight.
It's slightly.
Yeah,
Right.
not insanely.
Listen, it's not that barbaric.
I'm not saying that that's not barbaric.
I just
at all.
don't think
the
that-
helmet may be.
No.
Maybe, dude.
No, it's not.
Dude.
Because
you're
if
gonna
I-
cause the baby to scream even more because they're gonna get
Okay.
fucking hot,
If
and
I-
it's gonna be even worse. It's
if
not
you-
a good thing. I'm
If
sorry,
you're
bro.
gonna puke, what do they give you?
a bag,
Okay.
But
If you're
you're-
gonna fucking scream, they shouldn't give you a helmet.
no, for a baby, maybe for you, or maybe for I don't know.
Listen, dude.
Not for a baby, man.
Hundreds of people.
They're just coming to their own. They're figuring out their senses still. They're
What
not
about
even- they're
what
still
about the
growing.
customer always being right?
You
If
know what?
I paid hundreds of dollars to be on this flight, I shouldn't have.
You know what, Dino? There's a disconnect here because when you become a father.
Oh, this
here we go,
fucking-
and I'm becoming one now.
He's not
So
even.
I
It hasn't even. His,
I'm not. You know, there's a fatherly instinct that has
hasn't
now,
been a breath of this air yet.
doesn't matter. It is now.
And you already hit me
it's
with that.
absolutely just taken over my body.
Did you ever see the Family Guy where Brian finally reconnects with his kid he didn't know he had? they do a joke where he's like, until you know. He hit with that joke, because it's a thing.
Yeah, I got
That's
you.
funny,
I got
yeah.
you.
Oh my god!
No, but honestly,
I do like the baby free flight for sure.
I love it actually.
The helmet,
I'm
I
sold
do
on
think it's a
that.
little barbaric because the baby has no idea, and then this baby is being
Is one
finished
baby-
as we speak. You put a helmet on him. Who knows? You might turn him into
all right.
Dahmer
Think of the
because of this fucking helmet.
Okay,
You know?
think of the business standpoint. You're gonna make all these hundreds of paying patrons upset at your service and your conditions because one baby wants to scream. So you're gonna tell me fuck all these people.
The
and that
alternative is Greyhound, bro. You're gonna go on
Fly
that.
No,
at
the
your
all-
own risk, bro.
the
People
all-
have known this for years, ever since it was invented.
the alternative is a helmet. Is what I'm saying.
You're better
It's-
off creating like a portable fucking.
An airline that only flies babies or something
Yeah.
of that.
Call it Stork.
All right, to bring it full circle.
Dude,
Call it Stork.
bring this to Shark Tank. You're onto something.
God damn it!
homie.
You just ruined my joke. I was gonna say to bring it full circle. I'm gonna bring this to Shark Tank.
Sorry,
God damn it!
sorry, dude. Sorry.
It's all good. It wasn't that funny, anyways.
Anyways, that's awesome. No, I do like the idea, but not the helmet so much.
No,
But I was like, I don't know if I would put that
I'm
on my
passing
baby.
on this one. Hard pass.
I'm like, why does the baby have to come? Why isn't I'll stay home or mine will stay home with the baby.
Yeah,
Do we both have to be there?
I mean, this
Okay.
is just you. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
then
done. I'm done here.
we were talking about we briefly talked about evolution, right? We were going to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay, and I said no, and then we started talking whatever. So, what I want to know about evolution, allegedly evolution, is that how come we're the only animal that evolved? Now, there's alligators, millions of years old, their lineage. They didn't figure out, they're way older than the human species, I think. Reptiles, I think, came first before hominids, right? Okay, I don't know, bro. There's a lot of bro science maybe in here, but all I
Yeah.
know is that
If you think about,
alligators, I think, date back. They're the dinosaurs, right? They're
Yeah.
the dinosaur.
Yeah,
age. Okay.
they.
How come
from
they
dinosaurs,
didn't
yes.
figure out dentistry and they didn't get self-aware? It's a little interesting that how the monkeys, we evolved and then we got consciousness and then blah, blah. So what do you think about that?
There's two camps, right? There's the camp that believes that we were created, and there's the camp that thinks we evolved. So you're saying you think you're a creation guy.
I don't know. I think we date back. I think we're so fucking far off of what
Dude,
we know our
it's
lineage.
crazy that you brought that up because I just started a book yesterday. It's called Fossil Men.
Okay, tell me about it.
Yeah, elaborate, please.
So basically, the book it's about an investigation. This guy is doing an investigation on all of the bones that they found because he's trying to answer the question of who are we and where do we come from.
probably the oldest questions in mankind, right?
So
It
that's
has
what
to be. I mean,
that's the very beginning of the book. He asks these questions, and then he goes into the oldest known bones that we found was from it was like
Wasn't it Lucy?
no, it was what's it called? So it was
Look at
4.4
your
million
cute
years
little-
ago.
Look at the no cards, dude. This guy's
Yeah,
that's the way to be.
professional.
So it's called what was the book called? The book was called
Fossil Men?
Fossil Men, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. But anyways, so the oldest known human fossils found, they were upright, they were monkey-like. This is what they're saying, right? 4.4 million years ago.
when was the caveman? How long ago was
See,
that?
we
I have no
we
idea.
keep finding ancient ruins, like city-like places that keep dating us further and further back. And you know what I just learned? To create a fossil, there has to be a lot of perfect conditions all at the same time
That
to
is-
actually create a fossil.
Well, to keep it
Yeah.
in its state rather than break it or
No, I'm just saying in a
decompose.
fossil in general. I'm not talking about a nicely preserved thing. Actually, I just seen
saying-
something. We found some 1,000-year-old person perfectly preserved in some ice.
I'm saying because of the everything melting right
Yeah.
now because of
Exactly.
global
Global
warming.
warming.
Alleged. It's
Okay,
not
well,
fact.
Okay, what's a fact is that the temperatures are getting warmer. So okay, it
Yeah,
is,
but they
it's-
get
maybe.
it's a fact. What are you
Maybe.
looking at? That is a fact.
If you look, okay, there's been people on Rogan on both sides of this.
Yeah, they're on
thing.
both sides, which is really weird.
Okay,
So,
well, all we know is that the
if
water
you
levels
look-
are rising,
if
and
you
then there's a
look-
lot
okay,
of
if
ice
you look
that's
at a s-
melting.
If you look at a
let's
span,
say that.
if you look at a span of 100 years, it looks like there's a big drastic change in temperature. But if you break it down to 1,000 years, it's on par with everything else that's happened.
Just to be clear, let's just for the sake of this, so we don't go off on a crazy tangent right now. What's happening right now, present time, is that water's melting or ice is melting. Excuse me, water levels are rising. That's where we're at right now. Regardless of if it's par to what happened 100,000 years
But
ago.
the question is,
but
are
I'm
we
just saying-
influencing that or not?
Okay,
that's
but that's
the
what I'm saying.
debate.
I don't want to get on a global warming topic. I'm just simply saying that the reason why things are getting found now is that the ice is melting and the water levels are rising. I'm sorry, are
That's
are
what they say.
lessening.
That's what they say.
We're going to solve global warming right
There's
now.
like so many bodies that were found at Lake Mead in fucking Vegas that
Dude.
the mafia literally had thrown into the fucking lake, and they're finding fucking skeletons and shit right
there's
now.
a lot of holes.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of holes in the desert, and a lot of those holes, a lot of bodies.
Yeah, and there's
That's
also
from
a lake,
Casino. You
and they
guys didn't see
threw
that?
it.
That's a
oh,
quote.
Great movie.
I think I might have chopped it up, but what's absolutely crazy, absolutely bonkers about fucking global warming, and like this sums up, I think, our culture as a whole right now. That somehow global warming fell on the lap of some like 13-year-old girl, Greta. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No idea.
Thornburg.
Greta Thunberg, some
Yep.
face of. She was the face of fucking global warming. She's like 13, 12, or 14. So she spoke at conventions. Like we're supposed to listen to a child about anything. Somehow she got paraded up. She has her own documentary on. They use her like it's a clear little ploy for that side of the argument. Like they use her like a little.
I see
Trophy.
Al Gore's documentary, The Inconvenient Truth. That's one thing that I recall vividly.
For
And
sure.
I actually
And
did
you
a
know,
project on it.
do you know
back
who
in the day.
Do you know who the billionaire guy Dan Pena is? I don't know if he's billion, maybe he's a millionaire.
No.
Dan Pena is this old business tycoon, and he goes viral for like he's very like vulgar and like that old school business Wolf on Wall Street kind of mentality. Fucking suck it up, pussy, and he'll say that in front of like college kids. And
Yeah.
You show, his shit's pretty funny. But he talked about how Al Gore just saw a business opportunity. You can play on this fear thing that's not quite provable. It's slightly true. There is some truth to it. And he turned it into how much money did he make off of him claiming that? That's what you have to look at.
That's a good question.
A ton. Because he sold books. He did documentaries and shit.
Well, nothing's for free.
So Dan Pena-
he might have believed in it, but of course, everything comes for a price. If he's going to be, would you do it for free?
No. But what he brings up a few good points about the whole global warming thing.
Yeah.
He says, first off, he's just upset that he didn't come up with the business strategy that Al Gore did. He's like, I'm just mad I didn't think of it first because he monetized global warming. Second, he says these big banks who give out loans, all right? All these big banks have these actuaries. They forecast the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
They know. They know.
Actuaries are crazy good
with
at math.
with
It's
billion
insane.
with billions.
Yeah, mathematics
with
is like their forte.
billions
It's
of dollars.
Crazy.
You
yeah.
understand that?
Yes.
They're still giving loans for property in Florida. Now, if everything was, would you agree that those actuaries are probably the smartest and brightest that come out of college?
Yeah, I remember you brought it, but yes.
Banks will hire all these big hedge, all these money places that give out loans. They have the smartest people working for them. Okay, always. They wouldn't be giving loans out to all these places like California into Florida if they were doom and gloom. They saw the forecast. They do the most research, more than probably anyone else, and they're still giving out mortgages. If they were so worried that it's going to fucking flood in 25 years, 50 years, they're not giving out these mortgages.
I agree with you, but there's still margin of error in some type of capacity whatsoever. There still is. At the end of the day, some catastrophic event can occur that will fuck things up.
I think things change, and the earth has changed.
But to your point, sorry, yes, I agree with you, and I'm not trying to say that that's not a great point, but I'm just saying that I'm just playing devil's advocate.
What I'm saying is there's a business to be on the other side of it.
Yes.
So, and if you play into people's future fear, that's you can manipulate people with fear.
Yes.
Especially but without provable fear in the future. That's the most way you can put fear into people. You're going to spread COVID to your grandma. You don't want to kill grandma. You can't go out. Spread COVID to your grandma. Come home. It's like they planted all the, like everyone's going to, they put the early numbers of the whole COVID thing. They were saying like 5-10% of population's going to die. It wasn't even like not even close to 1%. So it's like they could plant future fear in you, and it makes everyone on edge because it's in the future and we're just naturally afraid of the future. So I think they use it as scare tactic.
Yeah, it is crazy that they do that. But you're kind of right. I'm thinking about if they're giving off mortgages still, and it's supposed to be underground. So how long? 100 years? Because all you need is 60. Then
they're saying at some point, but I don't think there's really a. Is there?
I don't think they're as fearful as the other side. Listen, I'm sure we're not doing 0% damage to the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing 0. So we can argue forever on how much percentage are we affecting the environment, but I think the environment changes. It just changes. You know, it's like the Amazon. The Amazon used to be the Sierra Desert. You know, it used to be all desert land, and then it turned into the Amazon over time. Talking about big scale. So like the Earth changes. We used to be in an ice age. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Earth changes. It's how shit happens like that.
Yeah, well, we could be getting into now the topic of conversation of geographically where it was located. Are you talking when everything was one solid and complete piece of land, or when it broke up and then it changed geographically in the world?
What do you mean?
You're saying that the Amazon used to be
They're saying, listen.
Are you talking? Was it?
Well,
when
in the Dead Sea, the lowest place on the planet, there's whale bones.
Yeah,
because that used to be ocean, so it does change.
Do you know that
there's no fish that can act? There's no like living things that can live because of the salt content, the sodium content, and you can float because of it too, right? Yeah. So,
do you know they're finding evidence that the Amazon was actually mostly human planted?
Yeah.
Get out of here! Yeah. Really?
Yeah, totally.
What?
Yeah.
So they can tell by the certain dominance of trees that wouldn't have been in that area.
Exactly.
They were fruit trees.
But LiDAR.
And then LiDAR, they're finding cities underneath the fucking Amazon. Like legit, you could look at this shit up.
Yeah. No, I'm not doubting this.
And plus it was on Rogan, so it's
over a million people.
No, I've never heard this. Yeah. This is news to me.
And
for sure.
we've only LiDAR'd 15% of the Amazon.
Yeah, isn't that's insane.
So they're gonna find so much shit. That's what basically that Graham Hancock thing on Netflix is about.
Is it because it's so dangerous to?
No, there's no one investing in it. It costs a lot of money. So someone has to like fund it. Who's funding that? No one's gonna fund it.
I mean, you're going to try to sit here and tell me that there's not some multi-fucking-million or billionaire that would be really interested in doing this?
Right.
Literally, Graham Hancock was saying that on Rogan. He's like, I need some billionaires with some extra money who want to discover this. Only 50. He literally said it, almost like a pitch.
He
kinda
might have to
shocked
sell
at
it better.
He
With,
basically-
like, there's
yeah,
gold,
maybe
more
they're
gold
just,
under
they're just not
that.
selling it well enough.
He basically he is. He's actually a great speaker. But what's interesting is that he's not a professional in like archaeology or any of that. He's just studied this stuff.
So he has no credibility. That's where you lose him then, dude.
And in the traditional stuff, but
That's all-
But hold on, okay.
Sorry.
It's like saying the difference between business smarts and street smarts. It's like you can't say the street smart person isn't smart.
That's true, but no one's gonna fucking invest millions of dollars into somebody that doesn't have credibility. There is no fucking way.
Well, actually,
I wouldn't do it if I had that much money. Why would you
exactly
do it?
right.
It's a bad business fucking model.
Not only does he not have credibility, the people with credibility are discrediting him.
Oh, then there you go. That's a shame. Then you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked.
As long as you're not dismissing his findings, 'cause he still spent decades doing this thing.
And I'm not trying to discredit him.
Right.
Yes,
he says this all the time. He's like, I'm not saying archaeologists are bad or whatever. He's like, I couldn't do what I do if it wasn't for them. Like he's giving alternate perspectives with evidence.
Yeah.
So they're like showing water erosion on certain rocks, and everyone would agree that's water erosion. It's like, so then it's like, why don't you are applying this to the same thing? You know, so he just brings that, and then archaeologists always like shut it down. They blackwall him. He doesn't get his funding, whatever. So it's like, yeah, they're fighting against it, but it's like it's almost like they're just fighting against it because they already wrote history books. They don't want to rewrite. They don't want to be wrong and then have to rewrite history. There's like that kind of snobbery with it. Listen, that's at least what Graham's saying.
Yeah.
And you would have to believe that like that in our school systems, it's kind of the same way. It's like when they're teaching a certain type of way for so long, and then there's something contradictory to it. It's like, well, you're going to tell me for the last 15 years I've been doing the wrong thing.
Right. There's
nobody wants to swallow that pill.
Yeah, right.
You know, right.
So you've been learning everything the wrong way for however long.
Yeah, definitely. It's too inconvenient, and it disrupts every fucking thing.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, let's keep our hands off of it. Because, I mean, you think about, like, we were talking about the fossils, but what got me interested in that, it was like, all right, so, because I went to the museum also. I went to the museum. I saw Sue. I saw the dinosaurs, and I'm like, "Holy fuck! This dinosaur looks like that."
The Field Museum, correct?
The Field Museum, yeah.
Okay.
So I went to the Field Museum, and they have like these giant fucking dragonflies, but they look a lot like the smaller dragonfly. And I was like, "Well, okay. So if the atmosphere was different way back then, before whatever cataclysm or whatever happened, obviously there was more oxygen in the air. There was more of everything that you need that's nutrient rich to be able to create these giant creatures. Right. And then so if they found these bones that are 4.4 million years old, is it possible that, I don't know, I was just thinking, we have small lizards now. There was giant lizards back then. We have small bears now. We have giant bears back then. We have small dragonflies. We had giant dragonflies back then. Were there humans there and they were giant fucking humans?
This is crazy that you just brought this up. Sorry just to interrupt you. But a buddy of mine who is... He literally just told me this like a couple weeks ago that someone has proven that there were giant humans.
Oh, we
back
found
then.
plenty of skeletons that are like 9 feet.
That's what they're
feet
saying.
big.
Yeah.
I never heard of that, to be honest with you. But to your point, yes,
like,
they're
is it
saying now
possible?
from what he told me, and I didn't do any research on my end to disprove him or whatever.
Yeah.
But he said that there is some
and
research showing or proving that there were.
And you know the
So
opposite.
that's a great point, dude.
And you know the opposite is true as well. There's like 3'5" people that used to live in certain islands.
Oh,
and
we
shit.
still have 3-foot people.
I was gonna say, isn't over there in the
I don't know like locations, but like they found bodies. Yeah, I mean
The pygmies are
but
small.
more than
the
just
pygmies.
but more than just like dwarfism or whatever,
Well,
small people.
the
It's
high
just like a whole race of human.
People that live in the high elevation causes them to be shorter people in the Himalayas.
I think there was there might be something to that. I wouldn't doubt it.
There is 100%. That's proven already.
Yeah,
There's
but
no doubt about that.
It's just so interesting that like
I wonder where that is.
You're gonna try to tell me
The elevation has a factor on your growth.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, because it's on oxygen levels. You're not getting the same oxygen.
Like you were
That's what they were saying.
Like
It
you were
was
saying.
oxygen rich.
So there's less oxygen. So you're not. Yeah. It's in a sense,
Yeah,
you're
more
not.
cell, more cell production.
Exactly. Your cells aren't evolving at the vapid rate, at the rate that it should be.
So does that mean that if back then we had so much, we've been losing it? Is the planet dying?
No,
I have
man.
a hypothesis.
I don't know. Yeah. I
Or synopsis.
theorize.
No, but what's interesting is like, all right, so if we evolved from monkeys, like the alleged, right? Why is there still monkeys? It's like, oh, we were just a defect that kept reproducing, reproducing, and it just split off that way. Like, I don't get it. Like, I know, there's got to be something smarter.
It's a certain type of. There's a certain specific monkey that we evolved from, though. It's not because there's all different types of monkeys, right?
But there used to be more than one type of
or
human.
apes.
There used to be more than one. Neanderthal and Homo sapien was like there at the same time. There was two different types. There was actually 6 different.
Three
types
that
of
we
humans.
know of. 3 that we know of that are alive still. Denisovan, Homo sapien, and Neanderthal. Those genes still exist in all of us.
Actually, 23andMe still said something about like the Neanderthal.
How
genes,
could you?
that's-
How do you prove? How do you fact check them?
No, you can't, man. You just have to believe them. So, but,
Exactly.
But I guess there's faith. Dude.
Hey,
you have to
I'll
believe
sell
that
you a
your
pill.
check is going to get deposited.
I'll sell you a listen. I'll sell you a pill to make your dick grow.
Viagra.
No. But no, it'll be permanent.
Oh,
It's like those. It's like
Who got that?
There's no. Yeah, right.
yeah. No.
I always
it's
think about that.
fucking
There's no way to
interesting, man.
fact check that.
No, you're right. But if you go through life like I don't believe you, I mean, I think you should.
I think
question.
it's just a database. They want to collect all the DNA. You know how internet collected all of our internet data? 23andMe collected all your DNA.
Yeah.
DNA and CRISPR is going to be the next wave of like
Sure.
you're going to be able to pick your girl's embryo that's going to be a 6-foot baby with
I
blue
think
eyes.
that's so fucked
yeah,
up.
You're going to be able to manipulate all that.
but you know
I
what?
think China's already done that. And
That's-
mark my words, I
that's
don't know
crazy.
whatever
There's
the
something
date.
to say about that. We're
Mark-
already kind of doing that, by the way.
Mark
For the
my
record.
words that China is going to have super athletes in the
Sure.
next 10 to 15
Wait,
years.
hold on. We're actually already kind of doing that, and I only just know this because I'm going through this situation with having a baby. You know that you can do genetic testing on the babies and stuff like that to see if they're
define
going
if
to
there's
have.
defects
But you
or
have.
whatever.
It's almost like you're playing the role of God. And I don't want to get into this conversation because it's not about that. I'm just simply saying that.
No, you should though. If you could, why wouldn't you?
But-
if you could choose, like,
Well, see, then we're getting into pro-choice, pro-life, whatever. And I'm not trying to get into that
Right.
that
it's
conversation.
not the same argument.
No. But what I'm saying is that you're literally testing testing babies to see what they could possibly have, what they won't have. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're able to.
Well, think about the wolf, right?
No, the thing
They
is, we're gonna
say-
be able to inject. You're gonna be able to give too.
I don't know
You can
if
make their
that's.
intelligence higher.
I don't know if that's how it works.
China got caught for it.
Well, but hold on.
Oh, they did some genetic thing. And they said, "Whoops!" It accidentally made them smarter.
I thought you were going along the lines of like being able to like
You can
this
as
is
well.
what's gonna-
You can
Yeah.
not only select, I want a 6-foot baby,
Like, you're gonna
blue
know
eyes,
this baby's
but
gonna
you
be-
might be able to. No, you are going to be able to inject more genes that'll make it smarter.
Okay, I thought you were saying that. My bad. I misinterpreted what you were saying. I thought you meant like you're going to be able to in a certain point in time you'll be able to look at a baby and be like, oh, this is what you're going to end up be like. You'll know the statistics or like
the
what
end result?
Like
No, they're gonna
everything
know-
that the objective information of 5'10", fucking 200 something pounds. Is there something you could do to adjust this and that? Like,
No, but, like,
genetically,
yes,
in order
they're-
to manipulate the genetic code of what of the baby.
Hold on, but because your DNA is already information,
Right.
and there's stuff in there that you could turn on and off.
Right. Exactly
So
my point.
it's possible, like wolves, right? Wolves, they all look the same, but somehow we got dogs from them. So if in the wolf's DNA there's bigger ears,
the recessive and dominant genes.
friendlier attitude. You know, why couldn't that be in humans?
No. What happened was with the wolves is we took the original wolves. Then we took the ones that were more prone to be nice with humans, Then we kept breeding those, the less aggressive wolves. So we took the aggressive gene out of them. But then some of them started having defects of like miniature ones or longer ears. And throughout that time, people are like, I like the longer ear ones. I want to keep making longer ear. And then that's how we go from a wolf to a fucking chihuahua.
But I'm saying, but that information was already in there. It was the information was already in there.
Not to be smaller,
but so that was a mutation that we bred for.
That's a mutation that you bred for, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's like it's out of the litter. All of them are supposed to be black dogs, but this one's white. Like, all right, for beagles, most beagles are black, white, and brown, but some are just brown and white. Those are called lemon beagles.
Yeah.
So out of all the litters. One or two of them might be the lemon beagles. If you keep breeding those lemon beagles, they'll be the dominant litter. And then some might be, let's say, extra small. But then if I could breed that one and I keep doing it a couple generations, then I have a litter of all extra small beagles.
Right. But all that info was already in there. You're just turning on and off certain traits. So it's possible that whatever monkey we came from, why would you breed with an angry motherfucker? You should breed with a nicer one.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think that maybe in that DNA, the code's already there. You just kind of I guess that's what Hitler was trying to do, right?
Well,
he wanted in some type of capacity. Sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted the most dominant of dominant. He wanted the Aryan race.
He wanted a certain look.
Fuck it, you're weak. See you later.
But you think that he's the only one that ever had that thought?
No, hell no. But he's the only one. He was the only one that.
Do you think there's people that don't have that thought right now?
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm sure, but I don't know that if society
whole clubs.
I don't think you could. I don't know.
Like, I'm sure you could do it, but you don't want people to know about it. I mean, right now, obviously, you were talking about China and how they're trying to develop like a super team, a super athlete.
They will.
I'm sure they're doing it.
Oh, they already. There's actually been clips of their army, like they're having like super fucking.
They don't have rules and regulations.
Super soldiers.
Although I don't think we follow.
Yeah, that's wild.
We don't follow all of our rules and regulations. There's definitely black fucking ops that do what the fuck they need to do to make sure that we're not behind.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes, no question. Oh shit. Oops.
Yeah, and there's also the thing that it could go wrong. It could go really, really wrong. You won't create an X-Men, but you'll create like a bubbling idiot too.
Okay, do you think that our government has either drones? I think they're drones. I think they're drones that we call UFOs. Do you think our government has stuff like that?
Yeah, I would definitely say yes.
Okay,
not even batting an eye.
So, because there's some people who think, do you ever play with the idea that, because there's some people who believe that some of the UFOs you see are people from the future just checking in on us?
Never heard that.
You never heard that?
No, I also haven't gone down a rabbit hole of really looking.
It's an interesting thought, because I feel like, okay, you know how all the movies we've seen, there's like rules about time travel. It's like you could dip your toe into the past, but you can't do anything to affect it because it'll change the course of time, it'll change whatever. So I feel like with the UFO phenomenon, since it can kind of make sense, like I like to play with that idea that maybe we're from the future, because I think it's theoretically possible that we can travel in the future. So I think we will get to there at some point, and there might be some fucking dude who's been his life mission to figure it out, and he figured it out, and nobody knows. It's like you can't. There's 8 billion people out here now. It's like you can't.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to travel to the past or the future. But I don't see how that's even possible.
My point is that you could see a UFO in the rock. Why I think it could work is because it doesn't. Although we're talking about it, it doesn't affect anything. It's like not enough people believe in it. First off, not enough people even seen one. So when they do drop in from the future and show us, it's like all we know is it's just their lights in the sky. So they're able to do it. I don't know. I like to think that it's possible.
The UFO thing has been getting way more popular these days.
Yeah,
and I'm skeptical about that.
And now they have that they just announced not that long ago that they have a team. They legitimately formed a UFO squad now.
For sure.
That's supposed to, within the next year or two, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines, that is supposed to now generate to the general public about what their findings were and all this shit.
I'm skeptical.
I don't know if it's skewed. So am I. I mean, I think anyone.
I think there's a deeper game they're playing.
I'm not gonna doubt that, but
here's my theory.
It's just wild that we've gotten to this point where now they actually have a certain sect.
Why would they tell you not? Do you ever
specifically just be on UFOs? It's pretty interesting.
Why would they? Would you ever think about why would they start talking about it now? People have been fighting for decades.
Because I think now, because of social media now there's more exposure.
It's probably they're setting up for something new. They're setting it up for the next future generations. Yeah.
So I think they're setting up. So there was a conspiracy way back in my early 20s, man. I used to dive so deep into YouTube conspiracies. I loved it. But I'm glad I did it because then I can go on the other side. Now I can see like, oh, these are kind of goofy, but I understand. But when people start talking about it, I know what they're talking about. I know, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that, man, I totally forgot what I was going to say.
UFOs.
Yeah, I know.
Mind
fart.
So in the future, they're setting something up to...
Oh, okay, thank you. So
good call. Nice save.
They're starting to tell us about UFOs because there was a famous speech. I think it was by, I don't know if it was Bush, a senior, or maybe FDR, but no, I don't know. Somebody's talked about how our problems would be so small.
Oh, Reagan.
There you go.
Yeah.
Our problems would be so small if there was like an alien attack. So there's a conspiracy that they're going to fake an alien attack on the world to get everyone to comply with a one world government, with a one world everything.
No way.
How would they do that? Give me a scenario.
So they're trying. Okay, can you agree that all businesses, no matter what it is, they start consuming, right? Bigger companies consume smaller companies. They get bigger.
Sure. Yeah, you acquire acquisitions. That's what happens always for any bigger.
All the big players are at their biggest level. They want to start consolidating. They're going to consolidate. The internet brought us all as one.
You're talking about monopolization? That's what it sounds like to me.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Certain players, they want everyone around the world to be on the same page about like...
Well, I'm just talking business. I'm from a business aspect of things. I mean, like, then there's no competition. So, I mean, then...
There really
isn't. They're going to give the illusion of competition. They all own it.
Yeah.
It's like you can think you're drinking Sprite and 7-Up, but you're still a Coke product. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's always a bigger company that owns this other companies. Yeah. You ever see the breakdown? It's like there's like 9 or 10 companies that own every company.
Yeah, it's wild. Actually, I went down this rabbit hole actually with my buddy.
And they all invest into each other, so it's the same people making the same money. They just give you the illusion that you have choices.
It's either called Blue Book or Paperclip. I don't know what they're supposed to fake it with like holograms. They're gonna get so. I think they understand the human psychology, how long it takes somebody to go from an idea to believing something. And I think they understand, like, they're going to get rid of cash. That's when they started the debit card how long ago?
Oh, I mean, since we were...
No, not that long ago.
What do you mean?
Debit cards have only been around since...
5 years?
No. What do you mean? We were in...
Debit cards started in like 2000s.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so I was going to say, when we were in...
Okay, 20 years. Let's say 20 years. It's not that long. Cash has been around for how long?
It's not. It's not. I'm
My
not trying
point
to
is,
like that.
Okay, and in 20 years, does anyone carry cash with them?
I never do as it is.
Thank you. So
how do homeless people literally survive asking for money?
Cash is because they all have Venmo now. I had a thought about that.
You're not giving Venmo to a homeless motherfucker. Let me tell you that.
Why not?
Because we don't have time for that. You literally you're at a fucking...
Scan my thing. It takes 2 seconds. Listen, I figured that bums the 2.0 bum has a fucking Venmo.
If they got a cell phone, you ain't giving them fucking money.
You can't say I don't have cash anymore. He's like, I got Venmo.
If a bum comes up to you with a cell phone, then you would say, fuck you. You have a cell phone. You ain't a bum.
It's the unhoused. But
anyways, yeah, let's not get off topic.
What was I saying before that?
Anyways,
bring me back.
Sorry.
Hologram.
Okay. So, it took 20 years to get us adapted to the debit card. My point is, there's a point of something they're trying to introduce, and there's a time gap between everyone adopts it, right?
Yes.
I think they know this. They know the schematic. So they understand how to change culture and everything. Like, if they want to start going towards a certain way, they know to start planting it
To
here.
influence you.
And then it's going to, in 20 years, it might finally blossom. And now we have the Patriot Act. And now we all have full security.
I mean, I'm not saying it's
You know what I'm saying?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not gonna denounce that.
I think it actually happens. It's happening right now. It's already happening.
I'm not denouncing it at all.
And they do certain things because they want it. They're planting seeds. And what's funny is all the movies that depict alien coming to Earth, it's always to take over and kill us.
Catastrophic.
Why?
Catastrophe.
We have just like I said about AI, there's no reference to think that aliens are going to harm us, but they're implanting the fear. So we if we saw 19 UFOs flying over the sky, we're all going to be like, oh, fuck, they're taking over.
That's the natural tendency.
No, it's given to you. There's nothing to base that off of. You've never seen an alien, so you don't know. First off, you don't know your natural instinct.
Everyone's
You've never
afraid
seen
of something foreign, though, man. It is natural to have fear of something you're not used to. Fear is definitely a natural feeling when something foreign is introduced to you.
I agree.
It's anything in life. Something as simple of you going to the 100th floor in a building and being like, "Holy shit, I've never been this high before. I'm nervous. I'm scared." You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's exactly why that works. That depiction works because you're playing on your fear of the unknown.
The unknown is always naturally feared, is all I'm trying to say.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
But it doesn't mean it's real.
Yes.
You have the fear of asking that girl out. That's not real because she probably is going to say yes.
But you're nervous to do it because you have never done it before.
We're saying the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is we don't have to believe that it's going to be negative.
Right.
Because that's not true. They're playing that card because it'll work. Because we will think of the future being negative. Mm-hmm. So they're going to depict a fucking alien takeover. And they might even have a few drones that could blow some shit up. I'm just saying what the theory. I'm not saying they're going to do it or not.
Yeah.
But
You're right. You're right, though.
Yeah.
You better believe that every so often they're going to test something. 9/11, you can argue, was a test of something. You could tell, or in maybe we didn't plan Corona 19, but they fucking tested. They figured out what they can get away with and what they can't. Right. Every so often they do testers. And a UFO fucking thing could easily be a tester thing. Let's see how far. Maybe we do a small little town takeover and we see how the fucking nation reacts to a small little town takeover that we can cover up and make it look fake in some buttfuck town in Texas, some ranch. You know what I'm saying?
But now they need to be careful. They definitely have to be careful because a lot like we were talking about Shark Tank, they gave us the internet. Through the internet, we're also watching what they do. We're also taking receipts and watching them. So if we look at every so often they test something and we start to track that, now we know when the next shit is going to happen as the people. You know what I'm saying? And like you were saying with the sharks, they have to be careful not to be like a complete asshole and take advantage of people because the people who watch them are the ones who are going to decide whether they are good people or not and whether the show works or not. And for the U.S. government, as us, the people who, everybody, society, we're also taking receipts through the internet, everything that's happening, we're taking track. We're not Google, but we are like also keeping receipts of what happens. We can follow those guidelines to be able to be like, hey, okay, something else is going to happen. So I don't know. It's kind of going to have to even out somehow.
Yeah, but you would think.
Way.
Okay, while you were saying that, I was agreeing that like. But there's videos of racism on YouTube, and that shit still happens. It's like we have examples of like, I think attention spans could be short, like so short people could forget what happened 10 years ago. Right. Well, yeah. 100%.
That's why he switches every 4 seconds.
Right. But there was another point before that you were saying, man, fuck, my brain's like so fried.
Dude.
But it doesn't even matter because it wasn't that important. But I don't know.
Anyways, they are taking over.
All right, I got some.
Okay.
So we know the life expectancy has always been going up, right? It's always been on an incline.
Uh-huh.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't this the first time ever, or isn't there some knowledge saying that it's for the first time ever, it's actually degressing? Am I right or wrong? I don't know.
I think we're plateauing, or maybe
plateauing,
or maybe there might be something to that. Okay.
So I just recently have been getting really into the longevity of life because now it's becoming more of a topic of discussion. Considering that forever we've been on this incline of the life expectancy, and from I forget who's actually more between men or women, but I know that the men are.
It's women. Women live longer, but it's only because men do more dangerous stuff.
Right. That's right. So now there's all this research being done about the longevity of life and certain things that you can do, and it's really interesting. Like if you really start going down.
Oh, I've listened to books. I got some.
Do you know there's a Dr. Peter Attia? I think I hope I'm not butchering that, but you know this doctor? Yeah, it's crazy. So
he's the guy with the telomeres. Oh no, that's David Sinclair.
Yeah, I was
going to talk about the telomeres.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
There's a show. There's actually a show on.
He's treating it like a disease, right? I don't know. That's the same guy.
Yeah, no. There's a show called Limitless with Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
And there's like certain things that he has legitimately. He's been doing so much research on certain things that you can be doing daily that will insurmountably help your longevity of life, to make your life better, to like decrease cancerous cells or like cells that will
the nanogram stuff.
Nentamin
or something
like that. Yeah, like they take it to a whole nother level that I'm like, oh, this is way past my.
No, we're gonna 100. We our age, all of us. It's more me because you're old. We're for sure gonna be 100 and like 30, 140. But I don't know how our external is gonna be. But our internal will be like 30-year-olds. They're
right.
They're treating aging like a disease, not like the inevitable anymore.
Exactly.
There's way they can reverse aging in rats.
Yes.
They can reverse cell growth.
This is the number one thing to stop doing immediately. Actually, it's insane.
I agree.
There's another guy, Andrew Huberman.
Oh yeah, he's great.
The Huberman Lab. Yeah, that really.
You see how jacked he got?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, he was against. Listen, he was on Rogan and he was like, "Oh, I don't need to take testosterone. Me as a 40-year-old."
And now he's all about it.
I got plenty of testosterone flowing through my body.
Good segue, brother, because I was about to say that this is. It's.
Are you gonna get on it?
I was about to.
TRT, you should.
So no. I was gonna say that was my segue. Because
but you better be ready to fuck.
Now they're telling you that. There's the testosterone replacement therapy and all this shit that is going to help you.
I'm for sure going to go on chemicals when the time's right.
Yeah.
1,000%. I'll be
wild.
a Rogan. I'll be on HGH and testosterone at some point. I just don't want to lose my hair. That's my biggest fear.
Right. Exactly.
My biggest fear is to lose
my
I don't take anything. I don't take anything right now. I don't feel like people who are on stuff, you have the illusion like they're not earning their muscles. They are working harder than the people who aren't on stuff.
Without a doubt.
But they do have the privilege of their body. You actually get to see results when you're on shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but there is a thing about like you shouldn't. I don't want to say it's cheating because you are earning them, but I think there should be a certain amount of time where you go natural, do all the stuff natural for years and years and years. Push your body to the most natural you can be, because then at some point you will max out.
Yeah, definitely.
Then you can start taking the shit, because I think there's got to be some negatives to your liver and to your stuff.
It's crazy that we live until we're 100. Okay, let's just say that, right? Mm-hmm. But your declination occurs for men in our 30s. So we are living our lives, a majority of our life, in a decline, a vast decline.
Yes.
It's really something to wrap your head around. It's really interesting if you start looking at it and reading about it.
No, for sure.
It's really interesting. So like realistically, technically if you don't supplement or do some type of replacement, you are living your life actually in declination, and you're not living it
to its full potential. It's like a light slowly
you're
dimming.
Actually you're just living on it. Let's just say again, you're just absolutely healthy. Like you're not doing any other vices or whatever it is that's going to obviously, add to that. But then for someone to say that automatically in your 30s, then you are at your peak at like 35, they say. And then after 35, boom.
I feel at my peak.
It just fucking starts fucking going.
For sure.
So do I. And I'd be
Why
like,
not add something that you already have?
Right.
It's like if you're losing a thing
I'm
that makes you way better.
I'm interested, to say the least.
You for sure. So I did a cycle. I did I think I did 3 cycles. So they're supposed to be 10 weeks each. I did them. They only ended up being 9 weeks.
Of test?
A test.
No shit.
Yeah.
When?
I did it when, so I tore my bicep. Remember when I tore my bicep?
Yeah, I do.
So there's a time where I couldn't work. First off, Corona just happened. So all the gyms shut down. You couldn't go to the gyms. I tore my bicep in like that same week. Couldn't go to the gym, couldn't do anything. Then like I ended up getting surgery and my arm, I couldn't do anything with it obviously, but like I could still run. I'm like, I need to do some kind of workout
Otherwise you feel
for
like
my
an
fucking
absolute
brain. My
piece of-
brain is so wired.
Yeah.
I can't relax anymore. I can't just sit around and do nothing. My brain is so wired to just do shit because I know I have stuff to do. Now sometimes I do fuck off and just lay around, but my brain's like, you scumbag, you know you should have finished that thing you're supposed to be fucking doing. So my brain, I can't. And vacation's the same thing. Like after a couple of days, I'm like, I can't even enjoy it because my brain starts going to
I actually
work.
really couldn't agree with you more on that. It's really fucked up actually, but
so
yeah.
I started running, and then there's a picture of me and my girl. I look like a cancer patient. I'm like, because all I was doing was running, and I was running a lot, 4 or 5 times a week, sprints. Like I got really, really lean. The picture, I look cancer sick. My arms in that fucking, I gotta have her. I'll have her send it to me if she still has it. It compared to what I look like now, it looked like a cancer patient, and so. My point, I'll bring that all up, was that I told my buddy, because my one buddy at work begging me to tuck and take shit. And I was like, nah, I don't want to take shit. 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 So then I was like, when I shrunk up, I was like, fuck it. I'll go on a little something just to get my body weight back. I want to, first off, I want to heal because it heals your body faster.
Right.
So I was like, fuck it. I'll help my healing. And I'll help my body just get back to where I was. So I went on a little, he put me on testosterone and trenbolone with it, which is like a strength thing. It helps with your strength. Yeah. And, but it's kind of dirty. It's kind of a dirty, it's not that good. But actually just recently learning about that.
You got it from a black market. You got it from the black market, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they come with I get it from the black market, but it's still coming from the clean market. It's just like this doctor does.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
But
you
in
go to an
general,
doctor,
I didn't go to a doctor. Right.
Yeah, okay. Not to put you on the path.
So I went on it, and I got my fucking, dude, my appetite went way up. My horniness is peak fucking level. You are gonna be a fucking pervert with your girl, and she's gonna pick up on you so much that she's gonna fuck you as much as you want to fuck. Even like normally everyone's like once or twice a week, whatever. On this, you're like, I need to fuck every day, and you're gonna put out so much vibes that she's gonna fuck you every day.
Yeah.
Like my girl's like, I liked when you were on it. And when I ended up eating like because you remember when going through puberty, you were eating like a fucking beast.
Sure.
You go right through that. You're just going through puberty again.
Yeah.
So that's how you feel. So I was like, damn, I packed on a bunch of I packed on weight, but then I packed on my second and third cycle. I think the stuff I wasn't eating the cleanest of diet. So I was eating like pints of ice cream before I go to bed, dude. Like didn't give a fuck. I looked nice. I actually. Let's say if I was not with my sugar belly right now, if I'm actually in better shape now, natural, than I was on that. But what that did was give me everything that I lost, and then it gave me maybe 15% more.
Yeah. And how long ago was this?
Beginning of COVID.
Oh, okay.
So about 3 years? 3
So
years?
3
years. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, man, dude, that testosterone. So it's linked to male confidence. Okay.
Listen, testosterone is the essential.
So you better believe I felt the type of you feel a type of way on it.
It's crazy, yeah.
So it's
not that crazy actually. I mean, it's the hormone that literally runs us as a man.
Right.
It regulates that shit. It promotes lean body mass. I mean, it does. It really does such a crucial part.
Yeah.
In our physiological.
Yeah.
Well-being.
But I will say this. So let's talk negatives. So there's a ton of positives. Obviously, that's why people do it.
Yeah.
Right. But the negatives, I'm always chill, dude. Especially in my more adult life, I've become more and more chill. Especially like working out, I get all my fucking anxiety out. I'm chill, and I'm a big weed smoker, so I'm a chill dude. On test, dude, I have to remind myself not to snap on you. It's a very, very real thing.
Yeah.
It's not all the time, but I'll notice like I want to snap
irritable.
on my mom. Irritable is 100% the
That's
word.
the best word to use.
The weed helps with the balance of it.
I was gonna say
It helps for sure, but there's times where I have to remind myself to change my energy because I feel like I'm fucking a little bit on edge.
yeah, irritable.
You know, so yes, irritable is the perfect
the best word for sure.
And so, like I said, it's not all the time, and it might not be with. Like I said, I don't know if I was getting the cleanest of clean because there was one. I think my buddy gave me a bad batch of something because it didn't feel.
When
There
you
was
got
something
injected and
feel-
you felt it burning
Yeah,
through your
exactly.
body. Yeah.
There was something
Yeah.
not right about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it did make me strong, boy. I fucking immediately put 50 pounds on my fucking bench.
Nuts,
No
right?
problem,
Crazy.
dude. And this is coming off an injury.
Yeah.
And I think I think that's why I have a little bit of problems. I think all my shit grew too fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's such a thing that you can grow too. So when I was just running, when I got after my surgery, I was ultra thin. I was even thinner than I normally am.
Yeah.
So not only was I extra thin, then when I blew up bigger than I was, it's like my shit grew too fast.
You look malnourished. I think that's the better way to actually
for sure. I look like
view yourself in the future.
I looked
depict yourself.
I looked like Christian Bale in that one movie when he's
Oh,
a
get
crackhead.
out of here, dude.
That's how I pictured. Like, that's how I see
machinist
myself.
or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah,
I think
whatever.
It is. Yeah, whatever.
Or even in the movie with Mark Wahlberg when he's a crackhead, like the brother boxer movie.
Oh yeah.
He's like really skinned.
Yeah,
he's a crackhead in that movie. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's how I saw myself.
So what else? What other negative? So irritable.
Acne. Acne grew to. I already get a little bit of acne.
Okay.
Since I was 6th grade, as soon as I hit hormones,
Yeah.
that shit came. It immediately grew. It grew bigger, nastier ones, and then my face got acne for the first time. Like I never got acne. Now, I finally started taking some medicine because I started getting rosacea. I don't know if it's linked or not, but
The lingering effects for the aftermath is what
right
you're saying.
because I went cold turkey. I didn't take no off shit.
Yeah, which really fucks up your
shit.
hormones bad.
It can, but I wasn't on test long enough. I think.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean like to
If
really
I was
fuck
if I
you
was on
up.
it for years and then I didn't taper off
Yeah,
and then do
you
the
had-
fucking
exactly.
off cycle, I would
Exactly.
fuck myself up.
Exactly.
But I did it for a couple months.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever,
yeah.
you know. But it was fun. You do walk around with a little bit of extra confidence.
Yeah.
Fucking was you fuck better.
Yeah.
You fuck better and more.
Yeah.
It's just
That's definitely a plus.
it's
You're right.
the
right.
nuts.
So
the nuts shrink.
Do the pros outweigh the cons? Is that
I'm trying to
think,
think.
of what I'm trying?
I think so.
Depends on your personality, right?
Pros
that too.
outweigh the
That's a good
cons.
point, my friend.
The pros outweigh the cons, I believe. But I think there's things you can counteract the negatives. Like be really self-aware of your energy and not snapping on people, and you know what the breath work, and it's so much easier said than done because in the moment you'll just be like, I want to.
Yeah, for sure.
Why is my mom's question? Why do I want to yell at her? Like
But
there's
normally you
literally.
wouldn't. Normally-
See, but I think there's also. I thought about this, especially with my mom specifically. When she asked me questions, I think there's some like weird primal thing triggering with me because I always have to be defensive. I didn't do that. Yeah, as a kid, I want to defend myself.
Yeah.
So my mom will ask me any kind of question, and she's kind of like a little straightforward with her question. She doesn't ever put sugar on it.
Okay.
And she's like, well, why didn't you do that? And I have to get defensive. So it's like I feel like that with her, you know. But man, I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. I got spatial again.
Anyways, you get irritable. That's one of
Irritable.
the negatives.
Okay, so my mom would ask me a question, and I would want to snap. I'm like, dude, why you want to snap right now? Thankfully I would catch myself, but that's a conversation I never had to have before.
Yeah.
So like, but then there's times where it would slip, where I would catch myself being a little snippy with my girl. Like it'll just slip out instead of me self-regulating. But when I'll hear it, and I'll be like, "Fuck, you gotta chill," you know. Like, but is it? And then if you're in the car, you won't take nobody's shit. The guy fucking
road
bugging
rage.
Anyone who is making the mistake of fucking talking to you you're not backing down, and you're immediately at 11. So like the roid rage is a thing for the weak-minded people who can't regulate it, but it's so easy to snap that way. And especially
over.
And especially if you've been doing it for years and your hormones are really fucked up, because you can elevate them, but you shouldn't keep them elevated for too long.
Right.
Bring them back down.
Right.
You do shrink. Okay, the thing is, so when I got off, I was fine. My strength, I'll still be able to put up 2 plates plus. But then you do slowly get a little weaker, dude. Yeah. A little. And my mind, it was a little bit of mind fuck. I remember a couple of weeks or maybe months of just a little bit of that. Acknowledgeably not as high energy as I used to be.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, when I say depression, I'm not saying like, oh my God, you were like, holy fuck, I can't cope with life. I just mean you're like, holy
easier
fuck,
to be down.
I was lifting 225 plus, and now I'm starting to go down to 215, let's say, and you're like, fuck, I'm less of a man in a sense, or like it's almost emasculating.
Yeah, right. I could see where that would fuck with other people.
Your psyche.
Thankfully, I'm like stronger than that, and I know that like, hey, I don't care how I feel, I'm getting this workout done. It's like, and then it went away and whatever. But I did lose all that. I mean, I didn't lose all the strength, but.
Okay, so you said your balls were shrank too. So how did that affect you? Like mentally, you're watching a piece of your body that
it's
like
not
going away.
like it's not going from a fucking apple to like a grape. It's not like that much of a drastic shrinkage. You just notice like, oh shit, like yeah, these are a little bit smaller. These are a little bit smaller than they're used to.
I mean, but it's obviously noticeable.
And another negative now, I don't know. I don't know if it was a mental thing or whatever, but. There was a point in time where my dick, like, I was prematurely coming consecutively.
Okay.
Like, and
before or after?
While being on it. Like,
being on it.
I'll have let's say I have a quick nut. Okay, we all have a quick nut. It happens, you know. But then the next time I go, I'll have another pretty quick nut. Like, that's not usually a thing. And I'm like, and it happened a few times. So I was like, and it was towards the end of like me. I'm like, man, I think this shit's starting to fuck with me.
Yeah.
Like starting to fuck with my thing a little bit, you know.
Your longevity of
something. It was.
Yeah,
but then again, it could be a mental thing. You know, me and my girl started fighting at the time too, so maybe there's something in there with that as well.
Yeah.
But I will say, the first cycle, those first 2 months. Like, you could notice, like, oh, fuck, my dick is super rock hard. I want to fuck all the time. And it's just, and then you eat like a motherfucker. We eat like beasts anyways.
Yeah.
It's noticeably like you're carnivorous. You're fucking primal, fucking shoving it.
I never knew this, by the way. So I appreciate your honesty with really, explaining this right now. I never knew this about you.
It's I don't tell a lot. I don't tell a lot of people because I don't want it to take, which is the stigma.
There's
a lot of people.
There's a negative connotation with it. There really is, but I don't think that there really necessarily should be.
And it's by design. It's by design why people think the way they do about steroids or whatever. But people don't want to admit they're on it because then people think that I have these big muscles because I'm taking something you're not. That's not the truth. I'm doing stuff that you're not. It's not what I'm taking. What I'm taking is aiding to
it. For sure. Like, you're not just gonna become.
And it lets them off. It lets them off the hook. Like, oh, he's on steroids.
You ain't gonna become a popcorn muscle motherfucker just by injecting steroids in your ass and not lifting a weight. Right. You gotta lift the weights. You gotta do the fucking work. Let's be honest. Like that's the worst thing that people could ever like. This horrible. Right, like viewing of how that all works. It's so stupid. But
but plus also there's a lot of people who have like natural muscle. They're already like born genetically gifted in a way, and then they take some testosterone and puts on 10 pounds, and you're like, holy shit!
Right.
For sure.
There is
the thing is that you like that idea. You like the ideal look of yourself, and then you can keep improving it. That's why people don't come off it. And that's where you start going wrong.
Oh, you get addicted that way.
Because you've been getting bigger, and then testosterone it makes you want to go for harder, for more. that hormone makes us go harder.
Build your confidence.
It gives us the confidence to go for that fucking lion. We
a-
want to kill that thing. That bosses us up in that moment.
There's a way to go about it. That's why Jose Canseco, for example, when he came, he pretty much legitimately kind of popularized steroids, right?
Yeah.
He got exploited for what he did, but he wrote a fucking book, and I didn't read the book, but from from the gist of what I learned about it all is that he kind of told you the right way to do it. Bottom line, what all I'm saying is that if you do decide to go that route, you can actually there are doctors and shit that can actually legitimately test your blood every fucking 2 to 3 months, make sure that everything's going good. Like there's a legitimate way to kind of do it the right way. If there's there is a right way to do that shit. There really is.
You said you got this kind of black market. Mm-hmm. What were your thoughts before you injected this thing and you were like, holy fuck? Was it like a little bit of fear before you put this poison in your body, or maybe it's fucking anthrax?
Not necessarily a poison. It doesn't have to be a poison. But I get what you're saying.
I will say this. Almost any person who would be willing to give you juice, almost all of them, if not all of
already
them,
have done it.
Will tell you to do your own research first.
For sure.
Do research on it first. Because...
That almost says, hey, man, I'm not that confident in this. And
no,
I don't know what it could do for you. So if you're going to do this, it's all on you. No. Push it over.
No. Well, you should always do your own research.
The person would tell me, they would also tell me, like, hey, this is a good batch. Like, they can, just like anything, they'll tell you, they've done it. Like you said, like, almost one person who's selling it to you, they're on the stuff.
They've already done it.
Yeah, they're doing the stuff.
Or they're doing it, yeah.
Or you're just, I mean, you are hoping that the source you get it from is a credible source.
That's the thing, man. How do you know?
You don't want to go to like a cartel dude, because most likely those cartel people aren't cleaning stuff and they're mixing chemicals and you don't know what you're getting. But there's crooked ass doctors that do shit. So you're getting the medical grade shit.
Incompetent people everywhere.
Or people who they do know how to make it. There are black market chemists that can make this.
That's why there's a stress on actually doing your own research prior to getting involved in it. But
so you know the repercussions.
There's it even goes further more now, where before it was kind of just like do it at your own risk, do your own research, figure it out. Now there are these fucking companies that are legitimately holding your hand through all the entire process.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
I agree.
Whatever it costs.
Medical doctors legitimately doing your blood work every 3 months, 2-3 months, making sure that all your levels are fucking where they should be, if they're not where they need to be, where they should be, the optimal level, the optimization of life. That's like kind of where this entire conversation stemmed from, right?
Yeah, man. If you're gonna do that kind of stuff, and I would say don't do it through a doctor.
If you're gonna do it,
credible, legitimate.
100%.
I've been trying to get my dad to do it.
If you're gonna do it,
dude, I told my dad, why wouldn't you want to feel young again? Why wouldn't you want that? It's going to make you feel that way.
How old is your dad?
66, 5, something like that.
So wouldn't you agree or necessarily argue that they're living their life completely unfulfilled in a sense? In a sense.
I told him, I go...
In some degree. In some type of capacity.
Listen, I know he still fucks. I go, don't you want to fuck like you're 30 again?
Right.
I go, your dick's going to work like ways like you forgot it worked. Because someone made a good analogy. If you think of your testosterone like a bright bulb, it's just slowly dimming as you get older.
But
and you still have light.
It's quickly.
Yeah,
Again, based off of the timeline of
from
your
30
life,
to 50,
your
I'm sure
lifeline from 0 or from birth to death. Our life expectancy is up until now in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Again, I cannot stress my point enough. Your levels dramatically. That's the word we use. Dramatically from 30 somewhere in your mid 30s. That's when you see steadily declines.
Thanks, doctor. All right, let's wrap this bitch up. Let's put a bow on this motherfucker. All right, guys. Hey, we appreciate if you've listened to every second you made it to this far. We appreciate you.
Yes. Thanks,
we love you. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. Share with a friend.
Absolutely.
Love, peace, chicken grease.
Deuces.